Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wicked. And last year, I played through 21 games, which is a huge milestone for me because normally I only finish 3 or 4 games because I jump around to so many games. But this year, I made it a focus to play through a lot of games, and I played through 21 games. And I saw a few videos from other creators that I really enjoyed, mainly Fem Trooper and Shinky RPGs, and they went through their games that they played in 2025 and talked about them. And I wanted to do a similar thing, but for my video, I want to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. And I think it's going to be really fun. So without further ado, let's jump into my least favorite game that I played in 2025, and that is Crystar. I'm going to be completely honest, I did not like this game that much at all. I thought the story was pretty boring for the most part until the very end when it got pretty interesting. The characters were all one note and really just boring. If I'm being honest, they were boring. The gameplay was fun at first until you played the first hour of the game, and then it was repetitive. The combat was like, it felt really similar to like Trials of Mana Remake with the light attacks, heavy attacks, your skills, your dodge roll, but that was it. They didn't add anything else into the game to make it really like memorable and remarkable for the combat. But yeah, Crystar is my least favorite playthrough of 2025. The next game that I played that was my least favorite was Dragon Quest 1 HD Remake. Now, hear me out. I love Dragon Quest and I think it's a great series, but the first game just did not do it for me. I think the open-endedness of the story was cool, but I like structure in my games, so I like to know where to go and what to do next. And Dragon Quest 1 doesn't do that. You have to talk to NPCs and stuff to find out where to go, which for back in the day, that's fine. But for me, I don't like that. Not for me. And I like the combat. The turn-based combat is traditional Dragon Quest, but the problem here is you only have one party member for the whole game. You only have one party member for the whole game. So you have to level grind over and over just to be able to pass some parts of the game. And I'm like, just give me some more party members to use. And overall, the story is just whatever. The story is not fantastic. It's cliche. It's typical, but it's one of the first games, one of the first RPGs like in existence that really kick started RPGs as a whole. So a little slack there, but overall, Dragon Quest 1, not one of my favorite games. The next game on this list is going to be a surprise to you if you're new to my channel, but it's Final Fantasy VI, specifically the Pixel Remaster. Now, I'm going to be honest, the story in this game was pretty interesting for the most part until the second half. I know the second half is a big thing for a lot of people that love this game, but for me, losing all my party members and having to find them and then do their story and have most of the party members actually be optional didn't really sit well. So when I got to that point of the game, I'm like, okay, I'm over this game. I want to just collect my favorites and move on and beat the game. And that's what I did because overall, at the end of the day, the story was not the best. I enjoyed it until the second half. I enjoyed the story until the second half. I thought it was really good. The characters, there are too many characters in this game. None of them can shine the way they want to shine. And yeah, the combat was good, but I'm not the biggest fan of ATB system, so it wasn't for me that much. But overall, it's still an okay game. I can see why people love Final Fantasy VI. It just did not click with me at all. Now, the next game on the list is probably a game you probably thought would be a lot lower, but it's Star Ocean 5. Now, let me tell you, the story in this game, I enjoyed it for the most part. It did feel rushed. It did not feel complete, but it was an okay story. And I dug it for the most part. I really enjoyed it. I got into it for a little bit. But what really got me was the combat. I thought the combat was really fun. It's not as good as Star Ocean 6 and it's not as good as Star Ocean 4, but the combat is serviceable. And I love having all the party members in the fight at one time. And it's really fun, chaotic combos for days. The combat in this game is super underrated. It's the best part of the game. I really enjoyed it. And the characters as well, they were okay. The game was like rushed, I feel like, so they didn't really dive too deep into the characters, but they were okay for what we got. Not great, not fantastic, but just decent. Yeah, that's why Star Ocean 5 is low on the list because the story and characters just felt really rushed. All right, the next game on the list is Ark the Lad. Yes, I finally played Ark the Lad for the very first time earlier in 2025, and I enjoyed the game. I really did. I thought the game was great. Like, it really is a great game. I did really enjoy Ark the Lad, but here's the thing with this game, right? It was really short, and it was like more of a prologue leading into Ark the Lad 2. And for that, I can't rank it much higher because a lot of other games I played this game were just more fleshed out and better. But this game is really good still. I think the story was really good. I thought it was fun and enjoyable. It leads into Ark the Lad 2 in a beautiful way, which I can't wait to see hopefully later this year when I play it. And the characters, same thing. They were good, but they didn't have enough depth to them because, again, this game is like a prologue to what really comes in Ark the Lad 2. So it was a good little stepping stone for the series, and I really enjoyed my time with it. I just can't rank it any higher than where it is. All right. Next on the list is probably going to be another surprise to many people, but it's Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, I grew up playing Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PlayStation 2 many, many years ago. I brought it everywhere with me from every single place I lived. I loved Kingdom Hearts. It was my favorite series back in the day. But replaying Kingdom Hearts 1 for the channel, the flaws really show. The camera is really bad. The combat, if you're playing on proud mode, has some really bad difficulty spikes that is just unfair. And overall, it's not as fun to play nowadays with all the great Kingdom Hearts games we have, like 2, 3, Birth by Sleep. And that's why I hold it down, because I just don't think the combat holds up well in this game. I think the camera's awful. And I think some of the difficulty spikes is way too high for where you are in like certain parts of the game. It just drags you down for me. It really does. Still think the story's fantastic. Think the characters are really fun. I love the Final Fantasy characters in this game. I love the worlds you explore. Everything about the game is good besides like the game that you play. Like, it's just janky. It's not that fun, and that's why it's lower on the list, but it's still a fantastic game. I still do love Kingdom Hearts. All right. The next game on the list is Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. Now, I loved the first Lunar game. You guys know that. It was my personal game of the year in 2025. But Lunar 2 is still a really good game. It has the same fun combat, expanded to some degree. It has a fun world to explore, really good characters. I think Lunar 2 has a better story overall. It's like a more in-depth, personal, like, story. It's really more mature in that way too. It's better, but something about this game just did not click well with me. Like, I enjoyed it, but I was expecting to like enjoy it more. I was expecting to go into it like, oh, I want more of Lunar, boy, with this game, and I got that, but maybe it was the difficulty. It was harder. The game was harder than Lunar 1, so maybe that was part of it. And like, I don't know, some of the gameplay elements I just did not click with. I think the gameplay was a lot easier in Lunar, but it was a lot more fun because you felt overpowered and you felt indestructible, unstoppable, all that. But in this game, you're a lot more grounded. You get less XP, you get less money, so it's harder to buy the best equipment. It's harder to level up, and you just felt weaker. It just felt like a more of a slog to play through than the first game. But yeah, Lunar 2 still a great game, just not as high as on my list as other people. Now the next game is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. I was really excited to play this game because I heard so many great things about Final Fantasy Tactics. I heard it was a great, fantastic game, one of the best games for the PlayStation 1. And I can see it. I can see why people love this game to death. For me, I've said it before, I don't like political and war torn stories. And that's what really dragged it down for me. I just did not care for the story at all in this game. The characters, they were good, but again, they were so political, so focused on war. I just did not care for many of the characters besides like Ramza and some others. But yeah, that's the biggest flaw to me with this game is the really bad. It's not a bad story, okay? The story is fantastic and the characters are good. They just don't fit what I look for in a game. But for other people, yes, the game is fantastic. The story is amazing. For me, I don't care for the setting, plot, anything like that. So that's why it's a little bit lower on the list. But the gameplay is fantastic. The job system is one of the best job systems I've ever played with in a game. I love the tactical gameplay. All that is great. And if I just could get into the war story and political aspects of the story, I would enjoy this game a lot more than I did. Now, the next game on the list is Tales of Symphonia. I replayed this game last year because I was craving a Tales of game, and this one actually won the wheel that I spun. I spun a wheel, and this is the game that won. And I'm really happy it did because I love this game. I really do. I don't think this game is as good as I once remembered it when I first played it back in the day and when I replayed it again, but it's still a really good game. I love the combat to death in this game. It's so simple, but it's so sweet to pull off. Like you can pull off some super simple combos with Lloyd. And it's just really fun. It's simple, fun. That's what I wanted in this game. There's nothing groundbreaking. There's no free run, no extra like skills and stuff like this game. It's simple, and I loved it. I really enjoyed the combat. The story, again, I really fell in love with the story. It's one of the better Tales of stories, in my opinion. There are some holes in the story, some cracks, but besides those, it's still a really good story. The characters, again, there's some of the better characters in the series. I fell in love with some of the characters that I previously didn't. And I just really enjoyed this game overall. I think it's one of the better Tales of games. It's not one of my favorites, but it's still a really good game. Now, the next game on the list is Pokemon Fire Red. Now, by a game standpoint, with the story, characters, this game would be lower on the list because the story and characters are like non-existent. But for pure fun I had playing this game, it's higher on the list because at the end of the day, this list is based on the amount of fun I had with the game. And I had a lot of fun playing this game. It was my first ever Pokemon game for the channel. And it was my first ever Pokemon game I played for live streaming with Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. So it was fun having chat around, talking Pokemon, having fun like that. And then building my team in real life with chat. They didn't pick my Pokemon, but they were there with me. They knew why I picked certain Pokemon. It was just a fun nostalgia trip, and I really enjoyed playing through this game again. And I can't wait to play another Pokemon game in the future for the channel. Now, the next game on the list is a game I believe I started either early 2025 or late 2024, but I finished it in 2025, and that is Darksiders. I really enjoy this game. I played it for the first time when the War Master came out, like, 6 or 7 years ago, whenever it came out. I really enjoyed it when I played it the first time. And you know what? I'm going to play this game again for the channel, and I love the game again. The combat is so much fun. It's like a hack and slash, action-based combat. But you get all these different weapons and abilities you can use in combat. But not only do you use these different weapons and stuff that you get for combat, you can use them for the puzzles in the game. And that is so much fun. Fighting your way through enemies, exploring these dungeons, exploring these fields, trying to figure out the puzzles with your new abilities that you get, with new weapons you get. It's so much fun. The story it's whatever. The story's okay. It kind of got lost on me like halfway through. Like I couldn't remember what was going on in the story too much. But if you dive into the lore of this game, the story comes out a lot better and it's a lot more in depth that way. You just have to get into the lore of the game and you'll enjoy the story a lot more than I did. But overall, Darksiders is a fantastic game. I really recommend it to anyone. And I can't wait to play the sequels sometime down the line. All right, the next game on the list, it might be another hot take, but it's Kingdom Hearts 2. Let me explain. You guys know I love Kingdom Hearts 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But again, out of enjoyment, the game is a little bit lower on the list than you guys might be thinking. But let me explain. I love the combat. It's one of my favorite action combats of all time, probably top five. It has a really good story, really fun story. I love the way the story went from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2 and how they developed it and everything like that. I thought it was really great. I love the characters, Sora, Rico, Miki, everyone. I love the characters. They're really good. Kingdom Hearts is a fantastic game for the story and characters and gameplay, but I'm going to be honest. Me and my buddy Nova play this game collab for his channel and my channel on Twitch. And while we did enjoy playing the games together, it kind of hindered our playthrough a little bit because at sometimes in the story, when I was watching story, he was in combat and vice versa. And it kind of took us out of the story a little bit at times because we were trying to focus on the story, but also in the back of our head or chatting, we were hearing someone play like a Coliseum fighter or whatever the case may be, some combat with Heartless. And that for me kind of took me out of the story a little bit. Again, I love Kingdom Hearts 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but it's a little bit lower on this list just because while the collab playthrough was a lot of fun, it wasn't the playthrough I was going for the channel. So one day in the future, I will replay Kingdom Hearts 2 solo for the channel. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, like I said, fantastic game. Just not the playthrough I was hoping to play through in 2025. Still, would not change my decision. Do not regret my decision at all to collab. It was a fun collab. Just not what we were aiming for at the end of the day, I feel like. And that's why it's a little bit lower. The next game on the list is the very first game I played for 2025, and that's Rogue Galaxy. Now, let me tell you, I love this game. I really freaking do. I think the story is pretty good. It's not the best story ever. It kind of loses its way a little bit towards the end. Like they go away from this war and stuff, battle between two factions, into more fantasy and like stuff like that, which is cool. I liked it, but but well, man, I really enjoyed the story that was going on. It kind of lost me towards the end, but besides that, the characters were still really good. I love all the character arcs that they had, but besides the character arcs, the character was kind of non-existent after their arc, and that's a little bit of a downside because the characters were good. I enjoyed the characters when we saw them in their story arc, and then when the story arc was over, like, okay, where are these characters? They focused on Jaster and Kasala and Zekrom a little bit too much, and they should have involved the other characters more than they did. And the combat is fantastic. The combat is so much fun. It's like a Tales of, Star Ocean, Trials of Mana type combat, action based. So much fun. It's a really, really fun time. One of the best combat systems I played in 2025. But here's the problem with this game that makes it a little bit lower. The menu system is atrocious. You have to go through so many different menus and options just to get what you want. Oh, you want the factory. Oh, you have to do it through these menus. Oh, you want to find this specific item. You have to do it through all these menus. You want to equip items to your characters. You have to go through these menus. Too many menus in this game, and that's why it got kind of annoying towards the end, trying to fumble through these menus over and over. But overall, Rogue Galaxy still a fun, fantastic game. All right, the next game on the list is Tales of Graces F. Now, I'm going to be the first to say it. When this game first came out and I first played it, I didn't enjoy the game as much. I still liked it. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was fantastic. Replaying this game, learning the story again, falling in love with the story again, the characters, the gameplay, it's a lot higher on my list than it was years ago when I first played it. I still don't think the story is fantastic, but I have a better appreciation for the story now. Things that I missed my first time playing, I learned of this time playing, and I appreciate the story more. It's just still not one of my favorite stories ever. And that same thing can be said for the characters. I did not really care for too many characters in the first time I played it, but I have a better appreciation and understanding of their stories that they go through and their personalities. So I really love the characters in this game now. Sharia, I did not like her the first time I played this game, but learning what she actually goes through and being older myself, I can understand her story a lot more, and I really appreciated it more in this time I played it. And the combat is just as fun as ever. It's still fantastic Tales of Combat. It's one of the better ones in this series. I love it to death. That being said, the one small issue I have with the combat is when you're playing on the harder difficulties, the difficulty is way too much. Maybe that's just because I played on a first playthrough, so I didn't have all the goodies that you normally get for New Game Plus. Or, well, in this version, the remastered version, I didn't choose to have the option because in the remastered version, you get the grade shop at the beginning and you can pick those options. I didn't do that because I thought it would make the game too easy. It turns out trying to play the hardest difficulty without those bonuses makes the game way too hard. But that's not a problem with the game per se. It's a problem with me. But overall, Drake says that's still a fantastic game. The next game on the list might be a surprise to many being this high, but if you know me, you know I love Dragon Ball Z. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. I love it to pieces. And Attack of the Saiyans is the perfect blend of turn-based combat with Dragon Ball Z. It covers the first arc of the story, the Saiyan saga, and it adds a little bit more fluff to the game. Like some things that some things in the game are not shown in the anime. Like they added a lot of fluff into the game to make it more fleshed out, and I loved it. And they also made some changes to the story to make it fit more of an RPG. Like in the anime, Goku does not Goku, Piccolo, Gohan do not help search for the Dragon Balls. But in the game, they changed the story a little bit to make Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan help the other party members search for the Dragon Balls, so that way you can play with them in the story a little bit more, because otherwise you wouldn't play as those characters at all in the story. But I like how they added stuff like that to make the game more fleshed out and more fun to play, because you more party members, more fun. Am I right? And just overall, Dragon Ball Z, Attack of the Saiyans, one of the better games I played last year. I love this game to pieces. The turn-based combat is so much fun. The story is Dragon Ball Z as you know it, the Saiyan Saga as you know it. And if I had to give one negative to this game, it would be they teased the sequel for the Frieza Saga and we never got it. Where is that, Monolith Soft? Give us that sequel, please. I'm begging you. Now, the next game on the list is the first game off of my top 5 video that I made, and that is Judgment. Judgment was going to be number 5, but one game beat it out just slightly. But Judgment is a fantastic game. The story is incredible. I love murder mystery stories, so this game really catered to me and my style and what I love for games. I love murder mysteries. It's so much fun to try to piece together all the evidence that you get and try to figure out who the killer was and what happened. And I loved it in this game. I think Yagami is one of the best, and I mean best protagonists you will ever see in a video game. He is funny, he's charming, he's intelligent, he can kick ass. He's like the whole package and more. He's that good. And the supporting cast is just as good. And they really dive into the characters and their stories a lot, and they give them fleshed out characters. I love the characters in this game so much. I loved the story a ton in this game. The place where this game loses me sometimes is the gameplay. It's fun for sure, but it kind of gets stale and repetitive the more you play it, because you don't get too many options in this game for combat. Like, there's so limited in what you can actually upgrade your characters with, it's skills wise. So like this combat gets stale at the end. And overall, some of the gameplay was kind of boring. Like, there was some parts where I was just totally bored playing the game, but overall, the story and characters really held this game together, and I loved the Judgment to pieces. The next game on the list starts the top 5. If you watch my top 5 video, you'll know the game's coming up, but number 5 is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. I finally played this game for the very first time last year, and I loved it. I was looking for a good 3D platformer, and I was like, you know what? This game is on PS Plus. You can play it for free. So you know what? I'm gonna try it out. I loved it. I think Sly is an awesome main character. He's so witty, so charming, so funny. The gameplay is simple. You jump, platforming, you attack enemies here and there, you dodge attacks. It's a really simple combat, but it's really fun. The platforming is good. There's some problems with the platforming, but besides that, it's good. The story's pretty decent, nothing spectacular, but it's it's serviceable. It got me excited to play the sequels, that's for sure. But overall, it was a short, fun adventure, and I can't wait to see what the other games have for store in Sly. The next game on the list is Shadow Hearts. Now, I really enjoyed Shadow Hearts. When I was playing through the game, I'm like, okay, this game is good, but nothing special. But looking back at it, at what the game does well, and actually what the story was trying to tell, I really fell in love with it. I watched my playthrough over and watching it again. I'm like, you know what? This game is a lot better than I thought. It's really that good. The story was really good. It had a darker atmosphere, but it played it so well. I like exploring like Japan and Russia and all these places, Europe, in like a darker time where things were like really gritty. I love the characters as well. I got a new appreciation for those characters once I rewatched my playthrough. And yeah, I just think this game is fantastic. But where this game shines is the combat. It is turn-based, but you have a judgment ring where you have to time your button presses to get the most effective attacks, the best healing, the best use of items. It's so much fun trying to use the ring in certain ways to get the most benefits out of it, and I loved it. I really enjoyed the Judgment Ring. It's one of the best systems ever created for an RPG. And Shadow Hearts is a really fun game, and I can't wait to play the sequel, hopefully later this year. All right, guys, top 3. Now, everyone's game of the year for 2025 is my third favorite game of the year, and it's Expedition 33. And let me explain why it's not number 1. Simply because Act 3. The characters in this game are phenomenal. Probably the best cast of characters you will see in recent years of gaming. Really that good. The gameplay is so much fun. It's addicting. It's turn-based, but it has a lot of elements like parrying and dodging. You can use a bunch of different skills. You can create character builds that totally break the game. So much things go right for this game. But what really drags the game down for me just a tad is the final act. I think the story in Act 1 and Act 2 is beautiful. They should have ended it there. It should have been over after the end of Act 2. But Act 3 added this big twist in the game that did not need to be there. I can appreciate what they were trying to do. I just did not care for Act 3 at all. The optional content, yes, fantastic. I love the optional content. The story content and when you beat the game, Act 3, garbage. I did not like it. It's going to be my hottest take you'll probably ever hear me say, but I did not like the story in Act 3. I just thought they dropped the ball majorly. And if the game ended at Act 2, it would be my favorite game of last year. But with Act 3, I can't hold it any higher than my third favorite game because the combat and the story up to that point was so good. My second favorite game that I played last year was Tales of Graces. No, not Tales of Graces, Tales of Exilia. I am sorry. Now, when I first played this game, I loved it. I loved it a lot more than Graces. So I was hoping this game got remastered first, but it didn't. But that's fine. We got the remastered, and I fell in love with the game all over again. I fell in love with the story all over again. I thought the story was even better than last time I played it. I thought the characters were better than the last time I played it. The combat was a lot more fun than I remembered. Everything about this game just was so much better than I last played it, and I fell in love with every single aspect of this game. The combat, the story, the characters, the way you level up your characters, the Lilium Orb. I loved everything about this game. It's really that good. It would have been my number 1, but one game this last year that I played just barely beat it for the fun factor, and that is Lunar Silver Star Story. Now, the game does not have as good of a story or impactful story as Exilia. The combat is not as fun. It's still fun, not as fun. The characters are not anywhere as good as Exilia, but the pure joy and pure fun I had playing this game was better than any other game I played last year. I actually really did enjoy the story. I thought the story was pretty damn good, pretty damn simple. For PS1 era gaming, it was pretty good. The combat was simple, turn based combat with like formations you can do. So that's really cool. But it was really easy. And that's the thing. I talked about Lunar 2 and how the game was more difficult, and I did not like that. But I liked how easy this game was. Not to say I like easy games, but you just felt so overpowered. You could blast through enemies in 1 to 2 hits. Bosses in this game, you have one main strategy. Buff up your attackers, heal, and just go all out. And I loved feeling so strong. I loved feeling so powerful in this game. It was so much fun. And the characters were also pretty good. I love how every character had like a pairing. You had Alex with Luna, Kyle and Jessica, Nash and Mia. And I love their dynamic. I love the characters in this game. They're really charming. They're not going to blow anyone out of the water. They're not fantastic, in-depth, personal characters, but they were good. And I really loved the Lunar Silver Star story. It's one of my favorite games of all time now. And I'm probably going to replay it again this year later on because I love the game so much. But yeah, guys, I know this video is more of the longer side for one of my videos, but I hope you enjoyed me ranking all the games I played last year. And if you like this type of content and you want to see more videos like this, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all videos I make. And if you want to see another video for 2026 games I played, stay tuned because end of the next year, I'm going to have a similar video just like this. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.